Imagine freeing yourself from the constant need for someone else's approval and affection. Think about what it would be like to experience a freer kind of love, where your well-being doesn't depend on another person's actions. What if I told you that you can achieve this emotional freedom? Today, we're going to talk about something that affects many lives: emotional dependency. We'll discuss 5 practical steps to overcome this pattern and build healthier, more balanced relationships. And in the end, I'll reveal the most powerful key to transforming this process. Are you ready to discover a new way to experience love? Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our space for reflection on love and relationships. This is the Relationship in Focus channel, and I'm here to help you build healthier, balanced, and meaningful relationships. I wish you and your loved ones happiness, peace, and success in your relationships. Before we dive in, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. I'll be sharing transformative ideas that could change your perspective on love and help you achieve the emotional freedom you deserve. Now, before we explore the 5 steps to overcome emotional dependency, take a deep breath and allow yourself to relax. This is a moment for deep reflection, and I invite you to think about your own experiences and desires in relationships. What feelings arise when you imagine emotional freedom? This is an important step to open your mind to what we're about to discuss here. Emotional dependency: what it is and how it affects our lives. Emotional dependency is a pattern that leads people to seek validation, security, and happiness almost exclusively through relationships. While it's natural to want love and support from those we care about, the problem arises when we believe that our worth and happiness depend entirely on someone else. This can create an unbalanced relationship where you often put your own needs aside. Have you ever felt this way? Imagine, for example, the anxiety and insecurity you feel when your partner doesn't immediately respond to your messages, or the fear of being abandoned, which leads you to make concessions that might not be healthy for you. These are common signs of emotional dependency and can bring up negative feelings like anxiety, low self-esteem, and even physical and mental exhaustion. Overcoming this kind of dependency doesn't mean you'll stop caring or loving someone. Rather, it means building a love that is more solid, one that starts with respecting and caring for yourself. Each step we'll discuss here is designed to help you reconnect with your own value, your own desires, and strengthen your relationship with yourself. 1. Recognize and accept the situation. The first step to freeing yourself from emotional dependency is to recognize and accept that it exists. It can be hard to admit that we are emotionally dependent on another person, as it means facing a vulnerability we may prefer to ignore. However, it's essential to face this reality with honesty. Ask yourself, what makes me so afraid of being alone? What behaviors or thoughts make me believe that I need someone else to feel complete? These questions invite self-reflection and self-awareness. It can be uncomfortable, but it's also the starting point for any significant change. Recognizing emotional dependency isn't a sign of weakness, but of courage. And this courage will drive you to seek new paths and new ways to relate. Remember, no one is perfect, and we all have our emotional difficulties and challenges. Accepting this is the first step toward a healthier emotional life. 2. Strengthen your self-esteem and confidence. The second step is to work on your self-esteem and confidence. Emotional dependency is often tied to low self-esteem, where the person doesn't feel valuable on their own and thus seeks validation from others. Breaking this cycle requires developing a more positive view of yourself. This involves recognizing your qualities, capabilities, and achievements. Make a list of everything you appreciate about yourself and the things you've accomplished in life. It may seem like a small step, but it has a deep impact because it helps you see that your worth doesn't depend on anyone but you. Another way to boost your self-esteem is to find activities that make you feel good about yourself, like hobbies, volunteering, studying, or sports. These moments help you reconnect with your own value and see that you're capable of being happy and whole without depending solely on someone else. And if insecurity persists, try using positive affirmations. Start each day by telling yourself that you are valuable, deserving of love and respect. This simple practice may seem trivial, but it gradually builds a stronger mindset. where the need for external validation begins to fade. Now that we understand the importance of recognizing emotional dependency and building self-esteem, let's continue with the journey to emotional freedom. These next steps will help you create a more balanced relationship with yourself and, consequently, with others. Remember, each step is part of a process of self-awareness and strength that takes T3. Learn to set healthy boundaries. The third step is setting healthy boundaries in relationships. When we're trapped in emotional dependency, it can be hard to say no, and we end up dedicating ourselves excessively to the other person, often neglecting our own needs and values. Boundaries aren't barriers to stop love. They're safeguards that help maintain individuality and think of relationships like a dance, where each person has their own space and rhythm. When we don't set boundaries, it's as if only one partner dictates all the steps, which can lead to imbalance and dissatisfaction. Setting boundaries means defining how far you're willing to go without giving up on your values or your essence. To begin, reflect on what is non-negotiable for you. What type of behavior or situation causes you discomfort or disturbs your peace? Identify these points and communicate them clearly and respectfully. Remember that those around you, especially in a romantic relationship, aren't responsible for guessing your boundaries. It's essential to express them transparently. Setting healthy boundaries allows you to feel more secure and respected, which strengthens your self-confidence. It's a crucial step to breaking the cycle of emotional dependency, as it shows that you're committed to your own well-being. Loving someone doesn't mean giving up on yourself, and mutual respect is the foundation of any lasting relationship. 4. Develop the ability to be happy alone. This is one of the most challenging steps for those struggling with emotional dependency, but it's also one of the most transformative. The ability to be happy alone is essential for building healthy relationships. Often, we seek another person's company to fill an emotional void or need, which can lead to an unhealthy level of dependency. Being happy alone doesn't mean giving up on relationships, but rather learning to enjoy your own company. Start by finding activities you truly enjoy doing alone, such as reading, watching a movie, exercising, or even traveling on your own. These moments are precious opportunities to discover who you are and what you truly want in life. The goal is for you to feel comfortable and happy with yourself, without constantly needing someone else to feel complete. This emotional autonomy is a big step toward freedom. When you're content with your own company, you choose relationships out of genuine desire, not necessity. Being at peace with yourself also helps reduce anxiety about the other person. When we feel complete on our own, the fear of loss or rejection diminishes, as we know that no matter what happens, we can be happy and fulfilled. This is a vital pillar in building an emotionally balanced and independent life. 5. Build a diversified support network. The fifth step is to build a diversified support network. Emotional dependency often causes us to place all of our emotional weight on one person, expecting them to fulfill and complete us. This can overload the relationship and often leads to frustration. By building a support network, you spread this emotional weight across friends, family, co-workers, and others in your life. Each person can offer a different type of support and contribution, which makes your relationships richer and more balanced. Imagine having one friend to talk to about work, a family member who's great for personal advice, and another friend with whom you share leisure activities. This support network provides security and helps reduce the pressure on your romantic relationship, making it lighter and healthier. Additionally, diversifying your relationships promotes personal growth and helps prevent you from falling into the trap of emotionally depending on just one person. It's important to remember that in a healthy relationship, both partners have their own support networks and interests, and this strengthens their bond. When you develop a support network, you begin to realize that romantic love is just one of the many ways to experience connection and affection. And the stronger your connections with other people, the stronger your capacity to experience a healthy, dependency-free love. Reflection on progress so far. We've now reached the end of the second part, having covered the 5 fundamental steps to overcoming emotional dependency: recognizing and accepting the situation, strengthening self-esteem, setting healthy boundaries, developing the ability to be happy alone, and building a diversified support network. These steps require time and practice, but each one contributes to building a more balanced and independent life. At this point, I invite you to reflect. How could each of these steps transform your current relationship or the way you view love? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Change begins with intention, and the first step is always the most important. If you've made it this far, comment with the phrase, "I'm committed to true healthy love." Ni tao. We're moving forward on our journey to overcome emotional dependency, and it's important to remember that this process isn't linear. Each of the steps we've explored so far requires practice, patience, and above all, compassion toward yourself. Freeing yourself from emotional dependency is like building a new version of yourself, and that takes time. In this part, we'll discuss how to apply these steps in daily life and how to face challenges and resistances along the way. Practicing acceptance and self-knowledge. As you apply these 5 steps, one essential element is self-knowledge. Often, emotional dependency stems from insecurities and fears we've carried with us for a long time, but rarely face consciously. So, throughout this journey, it's vital to strive to understand your emotions and thoughts better. One practical way to do this is to spend a few minutes each day on self-reflection. For example, you might write in a journal about situations that make you feel anxious or insecure, or about times when you feel an intense need for approval or company. This practice helps you identify patterns and, over time, understand the emotional roots feeding that dependency. Acceptance is also crucial. Rather than judging or blaming yourself for needing attention and affection, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that these feelings are part of your story, and that, little by little, you're working to transform them. Remember that everyone has vulnerabilities, and forgiving yourself is a way of moving forward toward emotional freedom, turning anxiety into self-confidence. Anxiety is often one of the main barriers to overcoming emotional dependency. This feeling frequently arises when we think about losing the other person or being alone. But when managed properly, anxiety can be transformed into self-confidence and security. A practical way to handle anxiety is by learning breathing and meditation techniques. When you feel fear or insecurity taking over, pause, take a deep breath, and focus on the present moment. Practicing mindfulness helps calm the mind and enables you to see the situation more objectively. Additionally, remember that you're working to strengthen yourself and become a more emotionally independent person. Each time you face anxiety and successfully manage it, you're building a bit more self-confidence. Celebrate every small victory because every step forward is an achievement on your path to emotional freedom. The challenge of setting boundaries, dealing with the other person's reaction. Setting healthy boundaries can be challenging, especially if your partner or others around you aren't used to this change. At first, they might be surprised or even question your new behaviors. But it's important to remember that setting boundaries is an act of respect for yourself, and that, in the long term, all your relationships will benefit from it. If you find it difficult to communicate your boundaries, try to approach it calmly but assertively. Rather than focusing on what the other person is doing wrong, explain what you need to feel good. For example, instead of saying, "You never give me space," try something like, "I need some time to recharge my energy." It's worth remembering that in a healthy relationship, respecting the other person's boundaries is fundamental. If someone truly values you, they will understand and respect your needs. And if there's resistance, take it as an opportunity to assess whether that relationship is genuinely contributing to your well-being and personal growth. Rediscovering self-sufficiency. Small actions to cultivate personal well-being. Another essential step to overcome emotional dependency is rediscovering your self-sufficiency. For many, this is challenging, especially if you're used to seeking happiness and well-being through relationships with others. But the path to a healthy relationship begins with satisfaction within yourself. A practical tip is to set small personal goals that bring joy and satisfaction. This could be something simple, like reading a book you enjoy, learning a new skill, or dedicating more time to a hobby. When you do this, you begin to fill your time with activities that are valuable and fulfilling for you without depending on another person. Also, remember to celebrate each achievement, no matter how small. Self-sufficiency is built gradually, step by step. As you engage in these activities and feel good about yourself, the need for external validation decreases. Over time, you'll discover that you can be happy and complete on your own, which brings a profound sense of freedom and confidence. Keeping track of progress and avoiding relapses. Overcoming emotional dependency is a journey, and it's natural to feel like you're backsliding at times, or that old habits are returning. These emotional setbacks are normal, as the process of change involves facing and transforming old, deeply rooted patterns. When you notice that you're falling back into dependency or feeling overly insecure, take a deep breath and remember the steps you've already taken. Recognize that it's a learning process and that each day brings a new opportunity to grow. Keeping a journal, as we mentioned earlier, can be a helpful tool for tracking your progress and identifying which situations are still challenging for you. Remember that the most important thing is your intention to grow and to build a healthier love, both with yourself and with others. Every step is progress, and the key is to keep moving forward. The power of asking for help. Seeking professional support. Sometimes, the process of overcoming emotional dependency can be challenging, especially if these patterns have been present for a long time or stem from past traumas or difficult experiences. In such cases, seeking help from a therapist or counselor can make a significant difference. A trained professional can help you understand the roots of your emotional dependency and develop personalized strategies for handling it. Often, emotional dependency is fueled by deep issues that require a closer look, and therapeutic support provides a safe space to explore these feelings. There's no shame in seeking help. In fact, it's a sign of courage and commitment to your well-being. Therapy is a powerful tool for anyone wanting to build a healthier emotional life and learn to relate in a balanced way. Now that we've traveled this path of self-discovery and strengthening together, it's time to discuss the final key to achieving true emotional freedom. Throughout this video, we've seen that overcoming emotional dependency is a process of personal rediscovery, where each step brings us closer to a more balanced and fulfilling life. In this final part, I want to share a deep insight that will help you consolidate everything you've learned so far. Love that begins with you. The ultimate secret to overcoming emotional dependency and building healthy relationships lies in understanding that the most important love is the one that starts within yourself. Often, we look to others as a sort of emotional savior, hoping they'll fill the empty spaces we feel inside. But in reality, the only love that can truly fill these spaces is self-love. Think of self-love as a source of energy you carry with you at all times. When you cultivate this source, it doesn't matter where you are or who you're with, because you know that you're capable of feeling whole on your own. This is true emotional freedom, the ability to feel at peace with your own company, to value who you are, and to choose to be with someone out of desire, not need. But what does it really mean to love yourself? It means respecting your emotions, valuing your achievements, forgiving your mistakes, and being willing to care for your own well-being. Loving yourself is about being your best friend, your biggest supporter, and a constant source of encouragement. The power of self-compassion and forgiveness. Along this process, you may encounter feelings of regret or sadness over past situations, especially in relationships where you may have realized you were emotionally dependent. But self-compassion and forgiveness are powerful allies in your transformation journey. Forgive yourself for living for others, for fearing solitude, or for making choices you now see weren't the best. Forgiveness is a form of liberation and acceptance that allows you to let go of what's past and focus on what you can build from now on. Remember that no one is perfect, and we all have our unique paths of learning. Self-compassion means allowing yourself to live in the present without the weight of the past, opening space for a lighter, more authentic future. Practice gratitude for small achievements. Another essential aspect of emotional freedom is practicing gratitude. When you start valuing the small achievements of daily life, you realize how far you've come and how much you're capable of accomplishing. Every small step toward emotional autonomy is a victory and deserves to be celebrated. For example, if you manage to say no to something that didn't align with your desires, that's a reason to be grateful. If you spent an entire day enjoying your own company or did something that made you happy, Celebrate those moments. Gratitude helps strengthen your sense of self-worth, and little by little, it transforms how you see yourself and the world around you. Cultivate relationships that support your growth. Emotional freedom also means surrounding yourself with people who respect and support your personal growth. Healthy relationships are those that bring out the best in each person, encourage individuality, and value mutual respect. Being with people who support you on your journey of self-discovery and respect your boundaries is a major step towards staying free of emotional dependency. Evaluate your relationships and seek to be close to people who bring positivity into your life. Remember, it's possible to deeply love someone without giving up who you are. True love is one that allows each person to be authentic, where the bond is a conscious choice, not a necessity. Commit to your emotional freedom. Finally, the most important commitment you can make is to yourself. Being committed to your own emotional freedom means choosing yourself every day. It means remembering that, even in a relationship, you are a complete person, capable of self-sustaining emotionally. This commitment requires practice, and at times, it may be challenging, but the reward is a lighter, more balanced, and happier life. So, to close, I have a special invitation for you. Commit to your emotional freedom right now. Tell yourself that you're ready to live a life where love begins within you, and that, from this point on, any relationship will be a choice for mutual growth and respect. If you've made it this far, comment, "I'm committed to the love that starts within me" in the comments. And let's celebrate this choice together to live freer, healthier relationships. Final thoughts. Remember, this journey is ongoing, and each step you take is an achievement. Overcoming emotional dependency doesn't mean you'll stop loving. It means loving in a freer, truer way. Each day you invest in your growth brings you closer to a life where love is a choice, not a necessity. And it's precisely this freedom that allows you to experience love in its purest form. If this content was helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Thank you for being here and for allowing me to be part of your journey of self-discovery and self-love. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore more topics on love, relationships, and how to build an emotionally healthy life. Until then, remember, you deserve a love that starts and flourishes within you.